Hi, my name is Julia Myron, and I am here with another video analysis. So, a couple of months ago, there was a woman who worked as a UN judge previously, and she was recently sentenced for her participation in modern day slavery. And this is just a refresher to refresh your mind in case you have forgotten
A
about.
United Nations judge has been found guilty of forcing a young woman to be her slave. 49-year-old Lydia Mugambe organised for the woman to travel to the UK under the pretense of working for the Ugandan embassy. Instead, she was forced to carry out unpaid work as a maid and nanny at Mugambe's home. This vision was captured during her arrest.
I even have immunity. I am not a criminal.
You've got immunity in this country?
Yes.
She in fact did not, as the UN waived it. Mugambe will be sentenced in May.
So that is a quick rundown on what she was arrested for. And actually, the BBC wrote an article saying that she has been sentenced to 6 years and 4 months, and that she brought this woman from her country in Uganda. And basically, the woman was unpaid and treated incredibly unfairly. And in fact, the article does state that the judge tried to blame the victim for what she did. And my 2 cents on this is I do not believe this woman thinks she did anything wrong, because most of the time in Africa, in African nations, this is a standard practice. It's standard practice for somebody to bring a person to work for them. This person is from a socially, economically disadvantaged background, usually, to work for them. This person, so here's the kicker, this person is also most of the times underaged. So what am I talking about? From the early ages of 10 or 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This person is brought underage to come work in the homes of work, like middle class people. So you have those practices in Nigeria, in Uganda, as you can see, where they bring them to work as maids. Now, the thing with African laws and most countries' African laws is that most countries' laws in Africa is that the laws have not caught up, and society has not caught up to see that this is indeed a human rights abuse. Hiring somebody, number one, underage to work as a maid is wrong, and it's a human rights abuse, and it should be illegal. But the thing is, society has not caught up to see that this is wrong, and the law has not caught up to see that this is illegal. So people just keep doing it. This woman, she would be able to bring this victim to the UK without any repercussions. In fact, she probably even thought she was doing the victim a favor. She thought she was doing the victim a favor. I don't believe she thinks she did anything wrong. And irregardless of whether she's a UN judge or whatever it is, you have to understand that sometimes these corrupt practices are ingrained in the society. So they don't even think they're doing anything wrong. It's the same with how are we as a society? I'm Nigerian. You see a child hawking on the street. How is a society able to see that and think that is okay? Do you understand that these practices, especially for underage children who are brought to work as maids or indentured servants in these homes, are open to all sorts of assaults, and including assault, because I can't say here on YouTube, and it's common. And it's not like the laws in these countries are even developed to protect victims of assaults. So now think about this. That is the reason why I'm so glad that she was caught here in the UK, because I know she's also a judge in Uganda. If she probably did this in Uganda and it was fine, and if it was found out about in Uganda, she probably would not have been arrested, because to them that is probably a practice that is normal. I know in Nigeria it's a practice that is normal for you to go get a maid and bring them to your house. Some of them are unpaid. Some of them work long hours. Some of them are underage. And if you have right now, I don't care if the laws have not caught up to you, if you have somebody in your home that is underage and you're putting them to work as a maid, you are participating in modern day slavery. point blank, period. If you have somebody in your own home who is age appropriate, but you're treating that person unfairly, horribly, you're treating that person as a slave, and you're not paying that person appropriate wages agreed between you and the person, not a third party who you know is exploiting this person, you are participating in modern day slavery, or at least you are infringing upon many labor laws. So I think we all need to come together as a society to call a spade a spade. And just because it's okay in your country doesn't mean it is the legal or morally right thing to do. So all these, I'm very glad she was caught here. I'm very glad this was exposed. And I think this is an amazing opportunity for us to come together and really examine what we're participating in. And hopefully this will be an eye opener for everybody to change their ways and really treat people with dignity, whether they're less economically less than you, socially less than you, and treat everybody with respect. Because whether you agree with them or not, everybody has human rights. Simple, right? And we need to protect each other as a society. We need to call each other out when we're doing things that are wrong. So that's just a little bit of update for you guys on this case. She was sentenced on May 2nd, 6 years and 4 months, and the United Nations adequately revoked her diplomatic status. And yeah. And actually, I forgot to say that she brought the victim to the UK on false pretenses that the victim will be working at the High Commissioner's office in Uganda. So there's somebody in the Uganda High Commissioner's office who is also part of this scheme. So that's why I am telling you that this is a standard practice for them. They don't think they're doing anything wrong. But kudos to the UK. It is 1000% wrong here, as it should be in Uganda and many African countries. But she was able to be brought to justice here in the UK, an eye-opener. I hope the victim is doing well. I hope that one day African laws will catch up and African society will catch up and be able to call out modern day slavery and wherever else is practiced around the world, not just in Africa. And I hope the victim again and her family are doing well and she's able to pick her life back up together. I would like you guys to like, share, subscribe, comment. I would like to hear your thoughts, but subscribe as well so I can be able to bring you more things like this and more guests that can really shine light on these things that we're talking about on this channel. So thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the next video.